Welcome everybody, this is Donna from Riverside Beads and today's demonstration is on a 4-braid Kumihimo. So for those that have not done Kumihimo at all before, there's various different braid structures. I've been covering them in my live tutorials over the last few weeks, and this one's going to be with 4 strands of cord. So I've done lots of other videos, and I've also wrote a book on Kumihimo to explain how to get things started, measuring up, finishing. So I'm going to focus this purely on the braid structure, so you can work on the 4 braid, and if there's other bits you need to know, feel free to check out some of my other videos. They're all going to be live onto social media and then loaded onto YouTube after that, so you'll be able to watch those back. So let's get started with this, which is the 4 braid and how to do this structure of braiding. So I've started by tying 4 pieces of cord in assorted colours together. You can also do a method where you just have 2 strands of cords and knotted in the middle. I've just done some little sampler pieces just to show you the basic idea. It's a repetitive move to do this braid, and it is a particular braid that will come through the centre there, but it doesn't move around the disc. So unlike some of the other braid structures that rotate around the disc, this one doesn't. So here's how this one works. You take the cord from 32 and you take that down to number 15. Now when I refer to the numbers, it's the cord to the right of the number. Now when you take that away, unlike other braids, you haven't got anything here to give it leverage. So you may need to just put a finger either just there or hold underneath the disc to keep that in place. So then we take our cord from 16 up to the number 32, where that one was. We then take our cord from 8 over to 25. Now you could rotate your disc a little bit if you wish, just for ease of putting that in place. You then take 24 down to number 8. Now there's a bit of repositioning to be done on this one. So you take the cord out of 25 back into 24 and the cord out of 15 back into 16. So at the beginning of each repetition of moves, you've got the cords on north, east, south and west. And then we repeat our braid. So holding that sort of in the centre somehow, 32 to 15, 16 to 32, 8 over to 25 and 24 over to 8. And then repositioning those back into place. That's there. So now sometimes because of the nature of this, it will try to move away from the centre of the point of braiding, which is this point here. So do try to reposition that so it just sits in the centre. It helps keep the braid structure nice and uniform as it goes through. So I'm going to repeat the braid so you can see the moves there. And then repositioning. And that's ready to go again. So it still feels like it needs to go over there just so it sits in the centre. Another couple of repetitions round and I will be able to show you how that works. I feel like I need to be even wider for you just to see the full, so you're not missing anything. Okay. It does work on the smaller disc. I'm using the larger one, which does need a slightly larger frame to fit in the filming. So the number of repetition is the same. Down there. So what I actually do with this, I make myself a little note of the numbers when I first get started with it, just to remind myself, and then if I ever need to look back as a little recap. So 32 to 15, 16 to 32, that's the 2 numbers you write down there. 8 to 25 and 24 to 8. Then reposition and reposition, and that's the full repetition of moves. Now let's see, we should have a very nice peacocky colour braid structure coming out in the middle. Now this comes out a little thinner with it being, so it's 2mm satin, and it comes out a little thinner because it's done just with the 4 pieces of cord. So to get an idea of the thickness of a braid, you would twist your cords together. Ultimately would give you a rough idea of how it would work. And this one would come in, I would say that's about a 5mm when it's finished. A nice smaller, thinner braid. More limited patterns when you limit the number of cords there, but there are still some pattern variations. But mixing up the colours like this creates a really nice braid. So we would continue with that. Like I say, there's videos that you can watch to show you how to get started if you're unsure. There's videos to watch to show you how to finish your braids. And there's lots of other videos on different braid structures. So this is just one particular type of braid structure from Kumihimo. Now this particular one I didn't put into my book, so we didn't put a full braid into the book. So that's the full repetition of moves for you to make a note of. I have in the past done a beaded one, and I'm looking to relaunch the kit. So by the time this all goes out, there may be a new kit for how to do the beaded ones, and we'll pop in a little live as well for that. And you will soon, it forms very quickly, this braid structure. You'll soon get yourself a lovely 4-braid bracelet. I hope that's everything you needed to see for that. Any questions, just pop them below, either on social media or on YouTube. And I will try and pick those up to see if there's anything else I can help you with. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week.